Welcome to The Experience. My name is Douglas Flamino, and today you'll see me spending 30 days studying programming. But before this video continues, leave a like to support my work because this video only exists because of you who insisted a lot for me to do this, even though I find it really boring. Let's talk about Pocahontas. So how did it begin? In a certain video here on the channel, I talked about experiments I gave up on, and this experiment obviously was one of them because I actually started it. I actually started making a video about studying programming, and I watched a video. That was what made me give up. It's hateful. It's extremely unbearable to keep going for more than 10 consecutive minutes writing code that always, because of some tiny detail, goes wrong. You can never find the error no matter how simple it is. Let's talk about the video, right? Even though I have a lot of friends who are programmers, because they're programmers, they don't have time to help me out. Because they must spend their lives in front of the computer screen, writing code that for sure also goes wrong for them several times in a row, and they have to keep rewriting it. My programmer friends didn't have time, basically, and there was a consensus among all of them. Everyone recommended someone named Gustavo Guanabara to me. And then, alright, right? I didn't know where to start, especially because there are so many languages. I thought, wow, right? Which one am I going to choose, right? It was also a consensus among my friends that I should study Python. I said, okay. But some of them recommended one video, others recommended different ones, so I said, well, I'll pick the video that was recommended the most to start with. I'll get started, right? It was about logic, programming, and algorithms, which is a really boring subject. And well, just because it's a subject I find boring doesn't mean it's not interesting at the same time. I had never stopped to think about what an algorithm is. And he's a really didactic guy when it comes to explaining things, you know, for all ages. From my perspective, that's actually a negative thing, right? He explains things so simply and slowly that everyone in the audience can likely understand. He explained what an algorithm was, and I thought, wow, that makes sense. It was a mind-blowing moment. We're always used to hearing the word algorithm in a very specific way, related to social media, but that's not really what it is, right? There's an algorithm for every pattern. I won't explain what an algorithm is here, right? To check it out, search Gustavo Guanabara algorithm. It's explained well. From algorithm studies, we moved on to some basic programming, but it wasn't exactly in Python, it was in something called Visual G. And I think the downside of that video was that I spent so much time on those Visual G lessons. Well, actually, it wasn't that bad because I really understood the basics of programming there, how it works. That ended up helping me later on to fix the code, which was the thing I did most often in that video. If I spent 30 days in hours, let's say, I don't know, 90 hours coding, 80 of those hours were fixing the code. And obviously I did the first step, hello world, because otherwise you get cursed. I wasn't going to skip that step, right? What if that curse really exists? Am I skeptical? Yes, I am, but why take the risk, right? Actually, I had to do this hello world first in Visual G, then in Python. And then I found out that to do it in Python, you just write hello world. Ta-da, done. Wow. And I swear to you guys, I almost gave up again. It was unbearable, and the complexity of it made me realize that in 30 days, I wasn't going to get anywhere. In my life, my friends often ask, what experiment are you doing now? You know? One of my friends just moved here a few floors above. He asked me and I said, well, I'm in a programming phase. Then he said, oh, so what? Are you doing Python? I said, yes, I'm working with Python, but it's really hard to program something, to create a code for something functional. He said, you could use ChatGPT. From the moment Eris started giving some direction to my video, everything became much simpler, and I started to realize that it would be possible to present something. And actually, I found out that it's not just ChatGPT where you can find ready-made code. There's GitHub. There are other places where you can find ready-made code. ChatGPT, in fact, isn't even the most specific place for that. It's not the best AI for that, but it's the most accessible, the most famous, and so on. Well, I think it's beneficial for anyone who looks for a lot of information and downloads a lot of things, right? It relies on many online libraries, making it easy to download a small executable that's actually a virus and can harm your computer. I actually did make a calculator on my own, but man, I spent 14 days programming a calculator in Python. I finally managed to make a working calculator where all the calculations are working properly. Man, it was so boring. Look, that's it. It's working. 5 plus 5, look at that. 103 plus 666. It works, and then 5. That's it. Seriously, I don't want to keep doing this, too much work to do things that already exist and are ready. I don't think I'll ever use programming in real life or find it useful for anything. Honestly, that's how I feel. I don't see any purpose or use for it in my life. Honestly, the code for this calculator didn't turn out very neat. It ended up like this. I did it my way, though some things began causing problems. I didn't keep it organized because no one else will need to review my code. I know that in companies there's a programmer and he has to write nice and understandable code for other programmers. That wasn't my situation, so I did whatever I could and tried a lot of tricks. I was even a little proud, of being able to understand the core of the thing enough to pull off a trick, so the result would be the same. But I know that's not the right way to work. But it worked, the calculator was functional, and no one will have to mess with my code, so screw it. And look. To be honest with you, I was really discouraged about continuing. To avoid giving up on this experience again, I thought, okay, I'm not just going to study the practical part so I don't give up. I'm going to study a bit of theory, get to know more about programming. So I went to study other languages to see what they were like, right? To see if the one I was learning would be more appealing to the audience. And from what I noticed, I was really happy to have chosen Python because my god, who chooses hypertext markup language to program? C++ or assembly, man, that person deserves a spot next to Jesus in heaven. Assembly or assemble, I'm not sure how to say it. What are we gonna do today? We wanna do something useful because in the last few days we haven't, right? I wanna do something I need to use. We were talking about a converter, right?
Yes, a converter. You can use Python to do very basic things that you would need to use a website or use some software. One thing that's pretty common is when you need to sign a document and then it's in document but they ask for it in PDF or sometimes the other way around.
Yeah, that's really good.
We can ask ChatGPT to help you create a script that takes document files, converts them to PDF, and vice versa.
Alright, let's see if I can come up with one.
Do you remember when to talk to them? You have to be very objective and you have to think like a system that's less abstract and more straightforward. That's something we can do later. What is the best?
Oh, install a library?
Yes. What we can do next is use that.
Here, as explained, the goal was to make a converter from document format to PDF format, which is something I use a lot. And then it was correction after correction, because ChatGPT, if you don't explain things in detail, if you don't understand the process as it should be done, it's going to fail a lot. It's worth studying, especially because you can understand where the mistakes are and you can ask for specific corrections. I think it worked. Look, select.
Wow, it even opens the... Excellent.
I'll put here. To that side, so no one can see what document it is, right? Document. This is actually a contract of mine with an advertisement I did. These are contracts here. Exit, huh? How do I pick an exit?
It's the path, right? Click there. Let me see if it works.
No, I think it'll ask to...
click on save there.
Desktop, let's see. No, it's asking for a document.
Cancel.
I didn't understand. Let me put convert.
Maybe you explained it wrong to it.
Convert. Select the input and output files. I didn't get it.
I think we explained it wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Create an interface using the tkinter library with a doc file input field. Yeah, it seems unchanged, but let's check if it works now. I don't think so. Select folder. I don't think it's going to work. No.
Select document, that's it, anything there.
Downloads. What? Really?
It showed up there, right?
Look right here. Look, it worked. Look, very nice, huh? I just won't show it because it's my contract here. Cool. It was simpler than it seemed.
Ask him to make a button for...
Can you ask him to make this interface look nicer, more presentable?
Not really, but instead of doing that, we can start reading the variables and you can edit them yourself, you know?
But then what am I going to change the color? I'm not going to create a design in it.
Oh, you want to create a design? No. Then it starts to become a different kind of programming.
So, the only thing I really know how to do well is the design part, right? No, I have the ability to make good interfaces, just do the design there in Photoshop and all, leave everything organized. No, then you must be a specific user experience programmer. Something like that. I think it's user experience, I think that's it, and not even to make the interfaces look nice. There were 30 days, and while I could do it, I just wouldn't want to. Well, I continued this experience with this ChatGPT hack because since I'm not going to work with that thing, right? The way Eris explained it to me, I don't need to have all the basic knowledge to write code and everything else. Since it's an experience where I have to try to show results in the short term, it was much more productive. Some programmers here will probably curse at me for this. He gave me some useless little projects. But I needed to get the hang of it. To work with ChatGPT, fix the code, download libraries and software, and understand the interface. Let's see. I think it worked. Click on me if you can. If you can. You can't. Wait, what if I make this more fun? Okay, let's go. I have 3 tries to try to touch him. 1, 2. Huh. Now it works. Then he gave me things I could use more in everyday life. Alright, let's go. I'm going to try to make a little project from scratch here as quickly as I can and hopefully get it all done on camera. Maybe I'll use a time-lapse camera or something like that, but the goal is to make a converter to enhance photo quality. Look, I have this photo. Whoa, no, look at this photo. Actually, I have several covers, right? Due to my camera's International Organization for Standardization, the covers come out dark and pixelated, and I want to fix that. So I'm going to try to make a little software that fixes this pixelation, this graininess. Let's go to our dear ChatGPT. Let's go. He'll probably ask me to download something from some library. See, updated memory, blah blah. See, I knew it. Here's the fan. Let's install this first. Looks like it installed. Nice. Now the code. Wow, it's not even that big. I thought it was going to be a bigger code. Let's play. Actually, let's see if it's done, right? Many times it's done. That's right. Whoa, man. Wow, what's downloading? Should I play now? I'll try and see. Oh no. Let me read this. A good alternative upscaler. Ah, here. I think it's just going to increase the size. Let's just make the code drag the image. Oh, that's not possible. Let's check the code correction. Done! Really? Okay, where's my button? Huh! I meant the only correction I wanted was to drag, nothing more. Now add to the code the button that increases the photo quality definition. Graphical interface created with tkinter. Alright, that's better. I already have tkinter. Install these libraries, let's go. Install the libraries. Okay, I got it. Delete that messed up code that went wrong, copy code. It's okay. Where's the screen? What went wrong? I asked for the screen, my god. What did I type wrong in my search? Try dragging photos. It didn't work. Just to rub it in your face? New code, install the library. It's not going to work, this damn library. Code capture. Da-da-da, okay. Maybe it worked. Let's see, turn it up a little, go ahead. Drag an image. Where's the button? Check over there. Where's the button? Maybe you need to drag it first? Whoa, the desktop. Oh, it's here now. Yes, image saved successfully. Is it? Oh, it changed? But the quality didn't improve. Look, here, let me show you. Okay, it got a bit bigger and more saturated. But, I managed to do it, right? I tried it here, but it didn't work. It's strange to say I did it when it didn't work, right? This kind of editing here I would do. If you zoom in, look, it's just as bad as this one when you zoom in. I think it's even worse. Yeah, it's even worse. Look, the hand here, look. If you compare both hands, there's more pixelation on this one than on that one. It doesn't work. I didn't even want to do it anyway. Ah, I'm so annoyed. I wasted all that time for nothing. Ah, programming can't always solve everything, right? There are things we just have to know. And the interesting part is that your mind starts to expand like this. When it comes to creativity, you start thinking, wow, it's possible to do this, it's possible to do that. More ideas start coming to you. But I'm not saying that's cool, okay? It's still really annoying. He shared some useful small projects with me at the end, which was interesting to learn. I got to experience a bit of what it's like to be a programmer. Maybe not enough, not in the way that those who are watching here, especially the programmers, would like, but I did it my own way. Well, if you enjoyed this video, like it. Programmers, leave a comment. What was missing in this video? And until the next experiment. Now I understand why there are so many bald programmers. I think, I don't know. With one more month, I would at least start getting a receding hairline, right? Okay, then the error shows up like this. Avoid using special characters, blah blah blah. So you read your code from start to finish, every single letter, and there isn't a single special character. You say, no, okay, I'll copy everything, I'll paste it into Notepad and go through it like this. Key by key, letter by letter, to see where this character is, and there isn't one. Where the heck is the special character?